Hi Montessori families. I wanted to jump on really quickly and show some of the homework for second grade this week. We have been talking about how to find the difference in height in two different ways. On the very last page of this week's homework, you're going to see a problem just like this. Two kids you're given their heights for two different kids, and then it tells students to show the difference in height two ways and to write an equation for each way. I'm going to do an example with some different numbers so that parents and kids can get a refresher before they do this homework on Wednesday. So let's pretend that the heights that we're given are actually 121 centimeters and 128 centimeters. The first way students have learned to show the difference in height is by counting on. They have learned that they label their tape diagrams. So let's pretend we'll use the same names. Beth is 121 centimeters. So I label it with a B. I draw a rectangle for my first tape diagram, and I label it with 121. Underneath that, I label my next tape diagram with K for Kate, and she is 128 centimeters. We talked about how the number that is larger needs a longer rectangle. So because 128 is longer, we're gonna put hers down here and label it with 128. We're going to use our counting on strategy to find the difference. Students have learned that the difference is their missing part. This part between the two tape diagrams. We don't know how long that part is. We can use our fingers to find the missing part. We can also use this strategy of writing down our smallest number and then using tally marks to count up to our larger number. Then we count the tally marks and we know that that is our missing part. So 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tally marks. So my missing part is 7. Because we started at the smaller number and counted on, we have an addition problem. So 121 plus 7 equals 128. That's the first way that students have learned to find the difference. The second way is similar in that we set up our tape diagrams. Beth is 121 centimeters. And Kate is 128. The only difference is I don't label Kate's right away because I want to show that if I draw a line from Beth's down through Kate's, I actually make this part of the tape diagrams equal. So now I know that this part of Kate's tape diagram is also 121, and now this is my missing part. Because we also know the total, we can turn this tape diagram into what looks like a number bond, which students are very familiar with from first grade. So our total is 128. Now we have all the information we need to solve for our missing part. But because we are starting with our total, 128, we actually have a subtraction problem this time. 128 minus our missing part equals the part that we know, 121. If students haven't yet solved this way and they don't know the missing part yet, they can choose to solve in two different ways over here. They could either count back 128 to 121, or they could still use their counting on strategy to find the missing part. Either way, we know that they are going to get 7, just like before. Then we always want to make sure that they fill out this sentence at the bottom saying the difference in height is blank centimeters. So for our example over here, the difference in height would be 7 centimeters. Hope that helps. And remember that homework is due this week on Thursday because we are off on Friday.